Okay, have we recovered yet?
We have.
Come on, that's not a very emphatic response. But anyway, back here for the second half.
Sorry, I'm still getting ready.
Here at Bob Ford Field, the University of Albany, here in Albany, New York. It's crazy time along with JJ. Lehigh Valley Storm football here on Storm Radio at Hot101.net. It is the Albany Metro Maulers with a 24-13 lead over the Lehigh Valley Stormers, ready to start the second half of play. We'll give you the first half stats momentarily and what happened. Kelly Palmer about to approach the tee. At least it was a decent halftime. Everyone got some legit rest. It is taken by Flood at about the 10-yard line. No, I'm sorry. It's Reddick again who crosses the 30 and goes down to the 34-yard line before being tackled by Dustin Jewett. So the Storm get pretty decent field position to start. And just to recap what happened, the scoring began on the opening drive of the game for the Maulers, a 31-yard field goal by said Kelly Palmer. And then for the Storm's first play from scrimmage, Raheem Ridley fumbled the football. It was recovered by Dwayne Murdoch, who ran it back to pay dirt, making it 10-0. First play of the second quarter, the Storm drove thanks to an interception by Jaron Elder, a 79-yard drive that ended with Justin LeHue throwing an 11-yard strike to Devon Gordon. A muffed extra point made it 10-6. But then C.J. Tarver had a 57-yard touchdown run, making it 17-6. More on the scoring in a little bit. Jimmy LeHue is back, 1st and 10. They're on 33-yard line. Michael Thomas in motion. Gets the ball to start the second half. He'll cross the 35, escape to the 40, still on his feet, and goes down to the 43. A nice run to begin the second half. Michael Thomas might have just gotten the Storm a first down to open the second half of play.
Yeah, that's a great little jet sweep to start off, and that's just what they're looking for. I'm expecting a much better second half from the Storm compared to the first one, and not to come out flat like they did early on in this game.
And indeed is a first down after a gain of 10. Michael Thomas, whom we haven't really called it all today, we just called him now as the Storm begin the second half on a pretty nice note. In the shotgun again, Jimmy LeHue on 1st and 10. Storm at the 43-yard line. Let's see what happens here as he looks over the Mauler defense, 4 receivers, and back goes LeHue, has some time, he'll throw it to left, pass is caught, and that's Reddick. He'll cross the 40, he's in Mauler territory, has some room, to the 30, 25, and then stumbles and falls, so about the 20-yard line before being flattened by Dyson Reynolds, but that is a gain of 37 yards. I tell you what, if Reddick keeps his feet, he could have gotten a little further.
Yeah, two plays and 2 real big plays for the Storm, just what they wanted. There was actually 2 guys open there, and he found Reddick. He made a great cut after the catch and picked up some decent yardage.
So back in the red zone, 1st and 10 as Jimmy LeHue will throw a slant. It looks like Reddick again has room, 15-10. He's in a 5, and he will, I think, score. He does!
Yeah.
Welcome to the end zone! Yusuf Reddick. Now, I did not understand why he stopped the yard short. He tried to impersonate Deshaun Jackson mistakenly, but he does score from 20 yards out. That didn't take long. 3 plays, 67 yards. The Storm have made a 1-score game.
That looks a lot more like the Storm offense that we've been used to seeing, and that's just what the doctor ordered at halftime for the Storm football team. And I personally believe they got dominated in the first half, and now, according to this extra point, they're right back in this football game.
You got that right. I'm sure one of the coaches fired that team up at the end of the halftime speech, and it immediately paid dividends as up to the extra point for, I can't find it, Eppelman. There we go. I'll get the name right. It's a high snap, kick on its way, and it is down the pike and good. It only took 1:36 seconds, but 3 plays, 67 yards. Justin LeHue's 12th touchdown pass of the year. This one by Yusuf Reddick, who gets a second tally of the year. And all of a sudden, Albany, you got a game. 24-20, Maulers lead the Storm.
Correctamundo, 24-20 right now. When LeHue came out and said, I'm sick of this, I want to be on the winning side of this game, he came out, he hit Reddick on those 2 plays, that little out route, and then that big play, and then a little screen pass there, and he got into the end zone. It's 24-20 right now, and LeHue and the Storm are fired up.
And I'll tell you what was even bigger. The fact that the Storm were able to get that fumble at the very end of the first half out of their minds and score within 3 plays to begin the second half. You got to remember that the Storm forced a turnover in the final 30 seconds of the first half, but it turned out that Jaleel Clark fumbled when he got to the Mauler 10-yard line. The Maulers recovered, which prevented the Storm from scoring at the end of the half. This might make up for it. So that's a huge play from a psychological perspective for the Lehigh Valley Storm, and now it's going to be up to the defense.
The Storm know they're back in this football team. You could just see the life that's been pumped into them, and they're ready to go.
Well, let's see how the Maulers respond to this one as Bobby Eppelman will approach the tee as he kicks off to begin his proceedings for the second half, and it's going to be kicked halfway through the end zone, and I'm not sure who it is. Oh, it's going to be Tarver. He'll get to about the 10, bounces about the 20, 25, and taken down right at that 25-yard stripe as the Albany Maulers will begin with okay field position. C.J. Tarver, he seems to be doing almost any and everything at this point. And you have to remember that if you can shut him down, that might shut everyone else down along with it.
Absolutely, I have to agree. This Albany Mauler team has a lot of guys on offense, but he's the core package, and he's involved in every big play that this offense makes. The offense did what they had to do, and the defense needs to come out now and keep an eye on the C.J. Tarver kid and just play great football and forget about what happened in the first half and do what they do best and that they've done throughout the first 3 games of the season and play Storm defense football.
And just to remind you, I left off, it was 17-6 in favor of the Maulers, but then after Lehigh threw an interception, the Maulers drove right back on a 1-yard touchdown run by Lowell Robinson, and then Lehigh ran a 1-yard touchdown run himself to complete the scoring in the first half. Now on 1st and 10, here's a fumble! There's a fumble! Who's got it? The Storm say they do, and they do have it! The Storm do have the football, and guess who was there? Mike Kuzer to pick it up! A forced turnover by the Storm, and they are in business!
Yeah, Mike Kuzer, I haven't heard his name all game. Yeah, right. This kid's all over the field. A little miscommunication by the quarterback, C.J. Tarver, and the running back there, and the Storm were looking for a break. Offense got the ball, went right down the field, and the defense did what they do. They forced turnovers, jumped on the ball, and not only are they right back in this game, they're looking to take a lead in this game.
You got that right. Not even 2 minutes into the third quarter, and Kuzer has, I believe, 2 fumble recoveries already. Took a break and he recovered one at the end of the first half, and then took a little break, came back, and okay, I'll repeat that. And he did just that. 1st and 10, Storm at the Mauler 30-yard line. Jimmy Lehigh in the shotgun formation. Single setback is Ridley. I'm sure they're going to come out with a purpose here. Back goes Lehigh looking. He's going to throw deep, and it is over the head of Michael Thomas, incomplete. They tried to slant round. Michael Thomas, he can bring a different element of speed. I mean, they used him on the very first play of the second half, and that kind of changed the pace a little bit, but it was a little bit too much. They went for it all, but came away with nothing except 2nd and 10.
A little bit overthrown there, and they're definitely going to try and get Michael Thomas more involved in the second half.
And I think that's very key since we haven't seen Sean Myers today. 2nd and 10 from the Mauler 30-yard line. Here is a snap, and now, they tried the end around. That did not work. And the end around went to number 88. I'm not sure exactly who it was. I can tell you right now, 88 is normally listed as Corey Martinez. He is not with the team today. Crazy shots to him. Listening, though, here on Storm Radio, courtesy of LVStormFootball.com. Hope he's doing well back at home. But anyway, a loss of 4. 3rd and 14 as the fans chant defense for the Maulers. Lehigh in the shotgun. Bad snap, but he gets it. Looks. He throws to the right, and a pass ends up being caught by that 88 kid.
I think it's Art Sanders.
Art Sanders. Okay, if that's so, obviously it wasn't listed.
No.
But anyway, he caught it for a gain of, I believe, 7, back to the 27-yard line. Now, here's the question. Do you give Eppelman a shot at a 44-yard field goal, or do you try to go for it on 4th and 8?
Bobby Eppelman is a kid with a strong leg, and I truly believe that he's going to come out and he definitely has the leg here. It's going to be an accuracy issue, and this is definitely Bobby Eppelman range for sure.
It will only put the Storm to within 1, and now whistles blowing the Storm are going to use a timeout with 11:50 left here in the third quarter, and the Albany Maulers, the Metro Maulers rather, with a 24-20 lead over the Lehigh Valley Storm. I think the Storm are trying to think this over. Just to give you a couple of quick statistics here for the Storm in the first half. Raheem Ridley, 14 yards on the ground. Remember, he fumbled one of the balls, and it was recovered and returned for a touchdown. Jimmy Lehigh had 3 carries for 4 yards, including a score. Agaman Moore had 16 yards receiving. Jaleel Clark, 52 yards receiving, but he fumbled the ball at the end of the first half. Devon Gordon, 37 yards receiving on 3 catches and a touchdown. Lehigh overall, 9 out of 22 for 106 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. But now, as
this lady from the Maulers comes by to say, what can I get you as your host?
what do you guys have?
Okay, we got Powerade, Sprite, Coke, hot dogs, pizza,
I'll have hot
nachos.
dogs. A couple hot dogs if you can.
Yes, anything on them? Relish, mustard?
Mustard,
ketchup?
yes.
Mustard and 2 hot dogs.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, 44-yard field goal for Bobby Appleman as we're being served here in the booth. Here's a low snap. Kick on its way. And here's miss. No good. Wide to the right. Appleman had the distance, but unfortunately it floated more toward 90 West. So no good, and I'll tell you what, the Albany Metro Maulers just got a huge break off that missed field goal because now they'll get the ball at the spot of the kick at the 34-yard line.
I knew that the Lehigh Valley Storm football team will come out in the second half and start strong, and they have, and they still have momentum on their side even after an Appleman kick, only down 4. This defense is ready to go, and this offense, and everyone's out there, and they're still jumping around even after a missed kick, and they have their eye on this kid, C.J. Tarver, and they're ready to play a really good second half.
Okay, so it is 1st and 10 for the Maulers. Remember, I think each team has 3 turnovers on today, 2 fumbles and 1 interception on each side. So now Tarver in the shotgun between split backs, 3 receivers slot to the left. Tarver's going to give a handoff this time and going to sweep around left 35, 40 out of bounds, 42-yard line. And that happened to be Justin Hardwick. And now late flag down. And I'm not sure exactly on whom. It might have been one of the Storm players. Might have been held and then probably said something inappropriate. May have gotten 15 yards.
The offensive lineman for the Maulers and Joe Davis got into it late. They were both pushing and shoving, but I don't know who's going to get called for this penalty. It's usually the second guy that always gets called, though.
And that same thing happens with hockey. They always get the one that retaliates. But we could also get offsetting penalties, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. So the officials are discussing what's going on. The head official just had a talk with Orrin Marshman, whom, by the way, had 5 tackles in the first half for the Storm. And C.J. Tarver speaking with the official now. Remember, the flags came well after the play was over. Hardwick able to get out of bounds, I'd say, about the 41-yard line. Probably a gain of about 8 on the play, but we're still waiting to see exactly what's happening here from the officials, if they're going to move the ball or not.
He called a personal foul on defense.
So it looks like they have the ball spotted at the 43, and I think they did call a personal foul on the Storm. Yes, they did. I thought there was going to be something on the Maulers too, but it turns out it's not the case. So you're talking about momentum breaker. There it is, a 15-yard penalty into Storm territory at the 41-yard line, and that's going to be a big 1st and 10 for the Albany Metro Maulers.
Yeah, that's definitely not. That definitely will break your momentum, and the mental mistake by linebacker Joe Davis. I think they called the face mask and personal foul.
You know what? You're right. So a double personal foul against the Storm. So now the Maulers have it at the Storm 26-yard line. So a double personal foul, face mask at the end of the play, and a personal foul that followed it. So you talk about a momentum destroyer. There you go. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a 30-yard total penalty. And the Maulers have 1st and 10 at the Storm 26-yard line. Boy, that missed field goal. Oh, boy.
Again. Now at the 30, but it is a 30-yard on the double personal foul by this Storm defense.
Ball ended up being spotted at their own 40-yard line, and then 2 15-yard penalties later. Wow. Explain that one. That was not good. Anyway, the Storm defense need to get their heads together. 1st and 10. The Maulers at the Storm 30 as Tarver in between split backs has a receiver on each side. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a run because they're going big up front. And they might go halfback option. Look out. And that is Hardwell who crashes and for maybe about a 2-yard loss. I'm sorry, it's Hardwick. I said Hardwell. That's a remixer if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, good tackle that time on the part of Paul Bolden, and that's a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 coming up.
That was a tackle by Baldwin, and once again, Mike Kuzer on the tackle. He was being brought to the ground and ended up tripping the defender on the outside who had room to run, and this kid's been all over the field tonight for the Storm.
And my wife Donna and my son Danny, who are at this game, I just got the word from my wife. Report from the sidelines that the Storm players are definitely more fired up than the first half.
I figured that.
Well, I tell you what, the question is, can they stay fired up? Because after those 2 penalties, I mean, that could really kill your momentum there. But we'll see what happens. 2nd and 12 as the Storm defense trying to push the Maulers back. Maulers at the Storm 32-yard line, man in motion. They're going to hand it off again. And Robinson will get to about the 30-yard line. Not much else. Got 2 yards on the play, but Jason Sedgwick able to make the stop.
Yeah, I saw that coming. They actually had their left tackle almost in the backfield, and then a guy to the right coming in motion. It was going to obviously be a clear screen, jet sweep this way, and the Storm read it out and made a great play.
So now a big play here as we're coming up on 10 minutes left in the third quarter, 24-20 in favor of the Albany Metro Maulers over the Lehigh Valley Storm, an interleague friendly matchup between the GDFL and the MLF. This is going to be a big play here. 3rd and 10. Maulers at the Storm 30-yard line. We'll see what Tarver has up his sleeve. I mean, he's been basically running with his legs like a young Michael Vick or maybe Robert Griffin or who knows what else. But the Storm needs to stay in their lanes and make sure they're disciplined, not make any more mental mistakes. Back goes Tarver, looking, rolling right, being pushed around. Let's see if he has room. He'll fire on the right side. Pass is caught, and that is number 36. Sean Singleton, who was able to snoop it away and get a first down for the Maulers in the red zone. Ball spot at the 17. That's a gain of 13. A good play call by Tarver.
Yeah, such an athletic play, and he really had nowhere to go. The pocket was collapsed, and he rolled out to the right and found an open receiver for a first down. That's just the type of things that you can't really stop there. You do your best the best that you can to keep an eye on him, but sometimes he's just too athletic, and the Storm really need to buckle down right now and see if they could stop him and make a big play.
So the Maulers are in the red zone at the Storm 17-yard line, 1st and 10. I'll tell you what, they score here, then they clearly have taken the momentum away from a fired-up Lehigh Valley Storm team. Lining up his Culture Branch on the right side, they'll go Pistolero this time. Tarver with a man in motion. He's going to keep it himself. Go to the 15, to the 10, slips out of a tackle, and goes down to about the 7-yard line. Finally brought down by Terrell Ellis, but not before another gain of 10, and that'll be 1st and goal for the Maulers.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. He's so quick. He just took off right up the middle and broke through that Storm defense. This kid's real good. The defense has to step up and just do what they do.
And so, 1st and goal for the Maulers at the Storm's 7-yard line. Once again, C.J. Tarver, I mean, he's been running like crazy today. As a matter of fact, had 98 yards in the first half. One of those was a 57-yard touchdown run, but of course, he had one fumble, and that was at the end of the first half, which Kuzer recovered. So now, 1st and goal from the 7. They hand it up the middle, and that looks to be Lowell Robinson crossing the 5 to maybe about the 4-yard line. Sedgwick again with the stop, but not before a gain of 3.
Yeah, gain of 3 there, and it's going to be about 2nd and 5, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. The front 7 right now for the Storm are bulking up, and they're going to be trying to get a push on this offensive line. I'm expecting Tarver to keep the ball, but once again, you can expect everything from this offense that's real efficient and has a ton of I can't say variety. That's the word I was going for.
Well, maybe our wording will be the variety next time here. But anyway, 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. In the middle of the Pistolero is Tarver in a try-back. They hand off to Robinson. No, it's not Robinson. It's Hardwick. And Hardwick ends up going backward as Kuzer brought him down for a 2-yard loss to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, the linebackers just were on the blitz there expecting the run, and Kuzer wrapped him up and made a great play for a TFL.
Well, TFO?
TFL, tackle for loss.
Oh, okay. I thought we were in the Tangent Football League all of a sudden, or they just renamed it. Thank you. Special crazy shout out to everybody at the University of Albany, of course the Metro Maulers. Everyone's been very nice to us today, and they've been very hospitable with everything, especially even after the early mix-up, which caused us to miss the first few minutes. But they have been wonderful to us, and we want to definitely send our gratitude to them and the entire organization. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Tarver in the shotgun, empty backfield, and somebody jumped, but who? But who? Was there a flinch on the offensive line, or did the Storm go for a neutral zone infraction again? It's a neutral zone infraction against the Storm. This almost sounds like deja vu here, because it was 4th and goal from the 6. I'm sorry, 4th and 5 from the 6, and then they jumped to make it half the distance, and it was then 4th and 2 from the 3, and they ended up getting a 2-yard gain for a first down. That was the last time, but here the Storm jump yet again, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Again, empty backfield. Tarver by his lonesome. Let's see what the Storm decide to do. He takes the snap, shovel pass to the left side, and welcome to the end zone, making it look easy. Justin Hardwick. That wasn't so hard. And it's a 2-score lead for the Albany Metro Maulers again, as they have put up a 30 spot here. But remember, there's still 5:44 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, this is very much still a ball game. They could definitely take a little momentum on their side there, but that was a great design play on third and goal from the 3-yard line. All eyes were on quarterback C.J. Tarver, and he just took a couple steps to the left, almost like he was walking, and all eyes were on him, and he pitched it inside for a shovel pass for a touchdown. Great touchdown for the Maulers, and something that they needed.
Kelly Palmer to try the extra point to give the Maulers an 11-point lead. The snap kick on its way. He makes it easy. It's good. And with 5:44 left here in the third quarter, the Albany Metro Maulers of the GDFL now have a 31-20 lead over the Lehigh Valley Storm. A quick reminder, of course, Pepsi is the main sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse.
Also, another couple sponsorships that we have for tonight's game. Number one, I just found out tonight, us three, all graduates of Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Yes. Also, Shrudy's Pub and Restaurant, located in Easton, Pennsylvania. Scott Family of Dealerships, Scott Lott, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo. All lots are located on Lehigh Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Also, Kula Children's Center, located 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Blackman Cycle Center, and don't forget to visit lvstormfootball.com.
Well, of course, and that's where you get Storm Radio. Go to lvstormfootball.com and click the Storm Radio link. Now, next week, the Lehigh Valley Storm are scheduled to be at home. I do not have an idea who the opponent will be, so basically all you can do is just stay tuned. Go to lvstormfootball.com for the latest information on that, and just follow through. We can tell you, in 2 weeks' time, the Storm will be playing the New Jersey Spartans, who, at last check, were losing 23-0 to the Somerset Bears. They were just starting the second half there. All right, approaching the tee is Palmer. And it's a short kickoff along the left side, taking about the 17-yard line, racing, crossing the 30, bouncing off a tackle, and down to about the 39-yard line was Yusuf Reddick. Boy, has he been used a lot in special teams today. Dyson Reynolds with the stop.
Yusuf Reddick in the kick return game really every time has brought it back to, let's say, the 40-yard line or midfield, and every time he gets it, he's such a good kick returner because he's not juking and dancing around. He gets the ball, and he shoots straight forward to pick up yardage, and that's what you have to do as a kick returner, and obviously the Storm offense are happy to have him doing that in the kick return game during tonight's game.
We got a crazy shout to Chris Montez Stanley, who checked in on the semi-pro football board. He wants to know the score. We can tell you right now, 5:37 left in the third quarter. The Albany Metro Maulers 31-20 over the Lehigh Valley Storm. It's hard to give updates and try and do play-by-play at the same time. Oh, the gift of Wi-Fi. Anyway, Jimmy LaHue is back, 1st and 10. From the 39-yard line, Maulers looking to show blitz. Here's the snap. LaHue will take in a pass high, and was it a catch? Or was it? No, it looked to be a little high anyway. It was incomplete, and it was intended for Michael Thomas, so they'll try it again 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a little bit of a high throw there, but just talking about this drive in general, I think that they have to get the running game back going again, establish in Raheem Ridley, and really, because it just opens up the pass so much. There's such a dynamic offense, this running gun offense for the Storm.
Well, right now they're running, but the gunning isn't not necessarily working all the time. But I will tell you it is 2nd and 10, Storm at their own 39-yard line. 4 receivers. Again, Raheem Ridley next to LeHue as a single setback. Evenly divided receivers on each side. LeHue waiting in the shotgun. Waits. Here's a blitz. And a throw on the left side, and the pass is caught. And that's Devon Gordon, who does a little bit of a rollover at about the 45-yard line. Still a gain of 6, brought down officially by Rashid Darrisaw, somebody who I also have called in the past.
Yep, 3rd and 4 coming up right here after LeHue. Little nice out route to one of his favorite receivers, Devon Gordon. So this is going to be real interesting and a big pickup attempt for the Storm right now.
Okay, thank you.
You all set?
Yeah, thank you. Well, here we go, 3rd and 4 from the 45-yard line. Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun. Now we got a man in motion. This time it's going to be Reddick. Taking the snap. Handoff. Raheem Ridley has a hold this time. He goes to midfield. Into Mauler territory and pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Terry Gano had nowhere to go but push Ridley out of there. And we'll say the 45, that's a first down, gain of 10.
Yeah, just such a more complete offense when they've Ridley going, and that's a great big pickup and a first down and a great block by Devon Gordon on the outside to gain an extra 5 yards at the end of that run.
And a good play call that time by whoever the offensive coordinator is. 1st and 10, Storm at the Mauler 45-yard line, 4:40 left in the third, down 11. They snap. Back goes LeHue. He's going to roll right. Passes. Thrown past Michael Thomas and incomplete. That was close to being intercepted by Donald Murdoch Jr., who was in the same area.
I feel like if he wasn't looking just for the hit, there was a chance that he picked it off. But lucky for LeHue, he wasn't. He was looking to take the hit on Reddick outside on the throw. So another chance here for the Storm.
2nd and 10 for the Storm at the Mauler 45-yard line. Still 4.5 minutes left in the third. 31-20. Maulers lead the Storm. LeHue in the shotgun. Now Thomas goes in motion to the left. He'll line up as a third receiver. And they hand it off to Raheem Ridley, who'll move the pile up the middle and get to about the 42-yard line. Pickup of 3. So now an interesting 3rd and 7 call coming up for the Storm.
Very interesting call coming up, and maybe they're going to go to their slants to Gordon or Clark, or maybe hit Yusuf Reddick over the middle. Should be interesting, but they definitely really want to pick this first down up for sure.
How about a pinball play to Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
We'll see. 3rd and 7 from the 42-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks, has some time, throws, but the timing was off and incomplete. Intended for Devon Gordon. The timing just was not there. I had a feeling that the throw came a little bit late. Now the Storm are going to have to do something very important. That is pin the Albany Metro Maulers in as far as kicking is concerned, because I think Eppelman's in the game to punt.
They did call a slant to Gordon, and the timing was a little off from LeHue to Gordon. But yeah, more importantly now that they didn't pick that up, they're going to need a great punt and a pin from punter and a big weapon for this team, Bobby Eppelman.
Well, the Mr. Everything, C.J. Tarver, back to return it for the Maulers as Eppelman waits to punt. I'm sure he's going to look for the sideline. Here's the snap. It is a high pop-up, and it is going to take a Storm bounce. And then Tarver picks it up at the 10 and brought down there, probably about the 11-yard line, almost horse-collared by Mike Kuzer, but they don't call it. And so, this is a big moment for the Lehigh Valley Storm defense. You now have the Maulers at their own 11-yard line. First, actually going to spot at the 10. So, they need 3 and out.
I absolutely agree with you, and the Lehigh Valley Storm offense hasn't had great field position all day, all night, but this is a chance for them to give it to them. I think that a 3 and out here would do a huge amount for this offense that has been working with longer field than usual, and the Storm defense is looking to make a big play.
So C.J. Tarver will certainly try and get his troops together. By the way, other sponsors here for Lehigh Valley Storm football: Philly Pretzel Factory, Kaplan's, The Burger Shack, Diamond Toyota, A&H Sporting Goods, JC Tree Service and Stump Removal. Of course, the Scott family of dealerships, Harmony Press, NEPAConnect.com, Valley-Wide Signs and Graphics, Saucon Valley Auto Spa, and the Chamber from the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce. 1st and 10 for the Maulers at their own 10-yard line. Tarver back, he's going to throw a left slant, and that pass is caught about the 10. Oh, there's a screen job to the 20, the 30. Oh, he's going to run away. 40, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10. Off to the Bell Center in Montreal. Welcome to the end zone. 90-yard touchdown. They took a page out of the LaHue Thomas playbook as Lowell Robinson collapses in the back of the end zone after going on a hitch play of 90 yards.
Number 4, Devon Gordon threw not one but 2 tremendous blocks to spring that. He pancaked the cornerback and then sealed the outside linebacker, which just gave the wide receiver the tons of running room to run, and that's all it took. A great block by number 4.
JJ is so stunned, it was actually Dwayne Gordon. Devon plays for us.
Didn't I say Dwayne?
I think you said Devon. Whatever. Trust the Gordon's fisherman. We just got unhooked.
Dwayne Gordon.
That's okay. But not okay for the Storm as the Maulers will try the extra point. Boy, if that's as a backbreaking of a play as you're going to get, there it is. Here's a snap. Kick on its way, and it is good, as putting the extra point through is Kelly Palmer with 3:34 left in the third. Not looking good, folks, unless you're an Albany Metro Mauler fan. The Maulers lead 38-20 over the Lehigh Valley Storm. So after that fired-up second-half start, now what?
I mean, there's plenty of time left in this game for the Storm. They need to make sure that they come out and put points on the board and play smart football the rest of the game, especially mentally. Can't give up mental mistakes that could cost them. But Yusuf Reddick, watch out for a real big return here. He's been real close to breaking one all night long, and a kick return could start what Lehigh Valley Storm needs to get back into this football game.
Well, I think the field position's going to be key. Remember, the Storm opened the second half with a 3-play, 67-yard drive. They're going to need to do that again. You wonder if I wonder when the momentum officially turned. Was it Eppelman's missed 44-yard field goal? Was it the back-to-back personal foul penalties? Or was it they're converting third and 10 from the 30-yard line on that drive that made it 31-20?
I personally think it was a little bit of each of those, to be honest.
It could very well be. It gives you something to think about as the way the ebb and flow of the game goes. But right now, the Maulers are doing the mauling right now. Here's a short kickoff, one hop, and past. Rodney Gilmore picks up at the 16, gets to the 20, has a hole, 25, and he is yanked down at the 27-yard line. And I didn't see a flag go down. He was tackled high, but I don't think I saw a hand go into the face mask. It almost looked like a twisted horse collar. Either way, no penalty, and the Storm will start from their 28-yard line.
The Storm offense really has to get something going here for sure. There's 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third quarter. There's plenty of time. I mean, it could be the fourth quarter, and the game's not over until the scoreboard says 0 and down 18, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. The Storm offense, they usually do the run and gun, but they're going to be pushing a little bit here and definitely going to try and get on the board.
Well, I'll tell you this much. The running game is pretty much taken away down 3 scores. I mean, they can go back and forth all they want. They'll run out of light bulbs the way they're going to this point. Or you just have the go down the old Pepsi Arena. Was it the Times Union Arena now? And they'll probably do a tournament game. It'll be like 65-57, like mid-March, trying to get into the NCAA tournament. But anyway, 38-20 as we're almost heading that way as the Maulers lead by 18. 1st and 10, Storm at the 27-yard line. And Jimmy LaHue with this ready to snap as Thomas is faked on the handoff. Now they kind of go misdirection, and that is Rob Kuzer going up the middle. So much for abandoning the running game, picking up about 7 to the 34-yard line.
You can't abandon the running game completely until the fourth quarter. That was a nice pickup there for 7 yards for Kuzer, and here come the Storm offense trying to get something really going.
Well, they need to hurry up. 3 minutes left, but it's only the third quarter, so we've seen some strange things happen. 2nd and 3, Storm at their own 34-yard line. LaHue in the shotgun, again 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Here's the snap. Back he goes, has some time, good protection. Throw up the middle, it's caught. Devon Gordon into Mauler territory at about the 47-yard line. It's going to be a first down. Good tackle by Rashid Darasol. Also in there was Andre Ray, but Move those chains. That's another 19 yards.
Yeah, great route run by Devon Gordon, just finding that hole in the defense, and he cut across where there was no secondary defender, and LeHue found them for a big first down.
Well, they need to keep that up. 1st and 10. Storm at the Mauler 47. In the shotgun is LeHue. Once again, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Rob Kuzer to his left. Here's a snap, and a pass is going to be caught by Michael Thomas, who will pinball to about the 30, 25, and unlike the last couple of weeks where he was able to pinball for 3 people and imitate a Who song, the mean pinball went down that time, but not before a gain of 24 yards, actually. It's going to be a first down.
There's a little giddy up in the step right now of the Storm, and getting Michael Thomas is a big part to making that happen.
1st and 10. The Storm at the Mauler 22-yard line as LeHue will give the Kuzer, has one up the middle, tries to bounce, goes off a defender, and down to about the 16-yard line. Pickup of 6. Dwayne Murdoch able to make the stop.
Yeah, that guy Murdoch has had a great game overall on the defensive aspect from the Maulers, but right now the Storm are doing what they have to do. They're running the ball well, they're passing well, and picking up first downs. They really want to get this ball in the end zone and get back into this football game.
It's a 3-score game, so they have to do it right here. 2nd and 4 from the 16-yard line of the Maulers. LeHue, a high snap. He'll try and run himself. Oh, the pocket closed too quickly, and down he goes for a loss of about 5. We haven't called Scott Irons down, and boy, he laid the iron on LeHue that time for a sack.
Yeah, he did lay the iron, and the offensive line actually hasn't been doing too well in the run game, but pass protecting, they've been having a really good game. Sometimes defensive linemen like Iron just makes a great play to get to the quarterback.
So down to the 20-yard line, it is 3rd and 8. The Storm down 18, and Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Rob Kuzer to the right. Back goes LeHue looking, throwing to the right. Pass is caught by Thomas, who tries to reverse direction and goes down to about the 16-yard line before being flattened by Mike Pert. But he needed 8. He only got half of it. So with 35 seconds and counting left here in the third quarter, now what do you do?
Personally, I would kick a field goal and make it a 2-possession game, but it looks like they're keeping LeHue on the field.
Well, they indeed are. They're going to try and draw the Maulers offside. 4th and 4 from the 16-yard line. 20 seconds and counting left here in the third quarter. Back goes LeHue. He's under a rush. He's going to have to throw, and the pass is going to be tipped and incomplete. LeHue was rushed, and he tried to get it to either Michael Thomas or Rob Kuzer. It got to neither. It goes incomplete, and the Storm turned the ball over on downs with 12 seconds left in the third quarter.
I think that making that a 2-possession game before the third quarter ended was more important than trying to score a touchdown there, but obviously they gambled in the first half and it paid off. They gambled now and it didn't, not so much, but a full fourth quarter of play coming up for the Storm, and I think that if the Storm want to get back into this football game, the Storm defense is going to have to make a big play.
Well, obviously they haven't been able to in the last 2 possessions with, of course, a shovel touchdown pass to Justin Hardwick, and then that 90-yard touchdown. Of course, I think Hardwick was the one who ran 90 yards for that score. Oh, Robinson, I beg your pardon. That 90-yard touchdown. That might have been the backbreaker right there, and the fact the Storm were not able to respond to that, that's where it's become a bit of a killer. But remember about the importance of this game when you look at the grand scheme of things. 1st and 10, the Maulers are at their own 16-yard line. C.J. Tarver, again the shotgun, takes a snap, and now another shovel pass. And look who's going this time, Dwayne Gordon. And he's off and running to about the 30. Reverses field to the 40. Down to the 45-yard line before being brought down by Tajmir Flood as we have hit three-quarter time. And unfortunately for the Lehigh Valley Storm, they're the ones that got fired up and then had a sugar rush crash. End of 3. The Albany Metro Maulers 38, the Lehigh Valley Storm 20. We still have 15 minutes of football left to go, and maybe JJ can let you know what's going to be happening this coming Monday night.
This coming Monday night, possibly, of course, of Steve Lombardo's approval, we're going to be doing a live remote from Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. It's always a good time. We're going to have interviews with coaches, players, and staff. Obviously, would be a better time if we can come back and win this game. But more importantly, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, located in Easton, Pennsylvania, is a great restaurant. It great place. And if you follow my Facebook, JJ Storm Football Radio, you could find more information there.
All right, well, we're into the final quarter as the Albany Metro Maulers right now trying to put this game away. They line up empty backfield as Tarver has a man in motion. They throw sideways. Pass caught by Coulter Branch. Branch breaks a tackle, crosses midfield, and then a shoestring tackle into Storm territory at the 45-yard line by Paul Bolden, who's had at least a nice game.
The story of the second half, I feel, for the defense right now is the trouble stopping the rocket screens and the jet screens that this Albany Mauler team has been running, and the shovel pass. Those are really the two big types of plays that they're having trouble with.
And it's funny because the Storm happened to run almost similar plays because, like we mentioned, Jimmy LeHue to Michael Thomas a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, basically the same thing, but instead it's now the Metro Maulers running those plays. And you have to remember, too, Albany has played pretty much a full season schedule. I mean, this is a team that's won 5 in a row, and last week they were supposed to play but got an unexpected bye. So this team is coming off a full week of rest. So the Storm people kind of have to understand a little bit as to where they're coming from. As we know, it could be any given Friday or Saturday night or anything for that matter in semi-pro football. But in this particular situation, when you're looking at seasonal trends, you have the Metro Maulers preparing for their postseason and the Storm playing their 4th game of their Major League Football schedule, which they'll get back to with a couple more home games in the month of August.
Yeah, it's very different because you don't see that too much, obviously, in other leagues. A team in their 4th game and then a team getting ready for the playoffs. But this Albany Mauler football team, don't get me wrong, is a very, very good football team. I mean, they have a ton of weapons from quarterback CJ Tarver to their running game, and their defense, their front seven, I think is absolutely tremendous. So the Storm right now, it's not like they're playing bad football. It's just they're not totally mentally prepared as I think that they should be. And it's a great game. Obviously, the score being down 18 points, 38-20. It does show what happened really in this game. But if they want to get back in the game, like I mentioned before, the defense needs to make a big play.
And so it is, as we had an official timeout. The play, by the way, went for, I think, 10 yards. So that's going to be a first down now for the Albany Metro Maulers, who are looking to win their 6th consecutive game. And I apologize to our stat guy, Rick Schmidt, even though he couldn't be with us today. He predicted the Storm a 27-17 win. Obviously, not like the first week when he got right on target.
He's still riding high on the first week.
We'll see what happens next week anyway. 1st and 10 for the Maulers at the Storm 45. Here's a handoff left side. That's Hardwick. He's the big guy. He'll get through a couple tackles and it falls down at about the 43-yard line. He gets brought down by Grady Pizarro, who's getting a little bit of time for the Storm in this game.
Yeah, the Storm defense is flying to the ball. There's a couple of missed tackles, which also is another story of this game. They're missing a couple tackles, but a running back like Hardwick, he runs hard. He's a big back and runs fast, but there's guys flying to the ball, and they're making a play, and right now it's going to be about 2nd and 7, and we're going to see what the Storm have and they're ready to do.
Okay, it is 2nd and 7, and they're going to spot it at the Storm 42-yard line. And now it's basically a clock possession game. Remember, the Lehigh Valley Storm used an early timeout in the second half, so they only have 2 remaining. 2nd and 7 from the 42. Tarver will keep it himself. Now reverse direction. And, a missed tackle. Hank's got some room. And now, brought down the 45-yard line. Nice tackle by Grady Pizarro. That almost looked like a horse collar, but that was more of a uniform tackle on the lower part for a 3-yard loss.
I think that C.J. Tarver would have just crossed the end zone right now. He came in, Grady Pizarro, and made 2 great plays in a row for this defense, and we haven't mentioned his name much all season, and that could be a game-saving tackle from Pizarro on that play.
Okay, so it is 3rd and 11 for the Albany Metro Maulers, who lead 38-20, and 12:45 remains here in this third quarter. Once again, Tarver looking to line up his troops. I'll tell you what, if the Storm can get a stop here, they may still have their hearts beating for a possible comeback here. But time is of the essence, and they need to make this stop. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Tarver in the shotgun, takes a snap, a high throw. It is caught. Dwayne Gordon. Gordon is stopped, though, at about the 40-yard line. Good tackle that time by Corey Worther. We haven't called his name yet today.
No, we haven't. Here comes the decision by the Maulers with, was it about 4th and 3 or 4 coming up?
Well, right now they're at the Storm 40. It's 4th and 5. I would not be surprised if the punter tries to pin the Storm inside the 20. You got to keep in mind, clock is now under 12 minutes, and it's a 3-score game with the Maulers ahead by 18. So they're going to use every millisecond that they possibly can, considering I'm using that phrase with the Watkins-Glen race going on tomorrow afternoon up about an hour up on 87, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to let the clock run down, and maybe they'll use a timeout here. So, or they could take delay a game for all we know, but guess what? They're going for it. Oh, boy.
Quarterback rollout.
Right. Well, it could be. We'll see. 4th and 5 in the 40. Back goes Tarver looking. Wow. He's under a rush. He will throw, and it is incomplete. Oh, man, that was almost intercepted. And a good thing it wasn't, because that would have been field position related. Luckily, the pass was incomplete. I'm not sure who it was intended to, but the Maulers turned the ball over on downs, and with 11:17 left in regulation, the Storm at least have a chance now, as they'll be starting from about their own 40-yard line.
And that's the break that the Storm were looking for there. There was actually a guy open, and Tarver looked like he had room to run to pick up the first down, but he decided to throw it and ended up not really throwing a great pass. So here come the Storm offense, and let's see what they have to get back into this game, down 18 with 11:17 left in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so it'll be 1st and 10. Let's see what Jimmy LeHue has up his sleeve. Rob Kuzer in again, but I'm not sure if they're going to be running. It'll probably be a pass with 4 receivers, 2 on each side. 1st and 10 for the 40. Back goes LeHue. He's looking. He's going to throw a slant. Caught by Gordon past midfield. He's on his feet. Still going. 45 to the 40. On the far sideline to the 30. And now he's shoved out of bounds. And now a late flag as he got shoved too hard after he went out of bounds. So a mental mistake by the Maulers, who did the mauling a little too late, and that's going to cost them half the distance to the goal.
LeHue to Gordon. I've been saying it all game, and that's their bread and butter on the offense. A little slant, 10 yards, took it, cut across field, out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and then a 15-yard penalty after the play. Lehigh Valley are ready to get back into this football game right now.
Throwing him out were Rashid Darrisaw and Terry Gano, and after the 15-yard penalty for throwing him a little too hard after the play was over, it's going to be 1st and 10 as the Storm re-enter the red zone, down 38-20. They have to take advantage of those defensive mistakes that the Maulers are making mentally. Let's see what LeHue does. Again, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. 1st and 10. Back goes LeHue, standing in the pocket. He spins out of a tackle. Can't spin out of the other, and down he goes. And now a flag comes down at the very end. Miko de los Santos, he's number 44. I believe he got on the sack. But let's see what the penalty is about. And that could possibly be a face mask. And it is a major face mask on the Maulers, so mentally the Maulers are melting. That's bad alliteration, but it'll work for a 1st and goal.
Back-to-back 15-yard penalties after a huge wide receiver catch and run by wide receiver Devon Gordon. Here come the Storm. LeHue looks a little bit shaken up, but you know he's not going anywhere, and he's stuck in the pocket there. There was no one open. He could have tried to make a pass to squeeze one in on the out route, but decided not to, and it paid off well, receiving a face mask.
And there was definitely a face mask there. Oh, they penalized from the end of the play, so it's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, so they penalized half the distance from the 22. LeHue in the shotgun, again 4 receivers. Back he goes in the pocket, looks. He's going to throw a fade route. It is! I think caught out of bounds. No, it was never caught after all. Incomplete. Jaleel Clark, the intended receiver. That was a little bit too high of a pass. Dyson Reynolds was on his tail, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it would have been caught out of bounds.
A little bit overthrown, and yeah, dropped late there by Clark. But I love the end zone to try and go to the I love the play on trying to go to the end zone there.
All right, so 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line of Albany, as more fireworks have gone off like pretty much since the second quarter from where I can see over on the right side of the field. LeHue in the shotgun again, single setback, Rob Kuzer. Back goes LeHue. He throws a slant pass. It's dropped, and now a flag goes down. Oh, they're going to rule a fumble?
No way.
Wait up. They're going to rule a lateral to Yusuf Reddick, who dropped it. It was recovered by Albany, but there's a flag down, and It looked to be a forward pass. I mean, the officials are saying it was not, but let's see what the penalty is. And there could also be defensive holding, too. If that's the case, that's going to be a first and goal for the Storm. But the officials are going to discuss this and say, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's getting chippy out there for sure, and that looked like a forward pass to me. It wasn't even in my mind possible for the Maulers to pick that up. The refs are discussing it right now.
And just in from Charmaine out in Bridgewater, the New Jersey Spartans have been shut out by the Somerset Bears 23-0. Wow. So no scoring at all in the second half. And they're calling it a hold against the Storm. And they say it is a lateral, so it is a turnover on the Storm. And, I mean, I had no idea, to be quite honest with you. I really think that was a very tough call that went against the Storm there. I mean, they I think showed one replay, but I couldn't really decipher it. But it is recovered by the Maulers and brought back to the 20-yard line. The fourth turnover of the day for the Storm. Very questionable call. Now we're going to have an official timeout as we're trying to sort things out. Bob Kohler is talking to one of the judges along the far side of the field. He wants to know why this wasn't called a forward pass, because I thought it was incomplete. I mean, what did you see?
I mean, there was no way in my mind from what I saw that was a forward pass, and I mentioned in the first half maybe they should implement the challenge rule because I don't think that was possible.
I'll tell you what, if we were in a billion-dollar league, I think we would see into that, but unfortunately, we don't quite have those technological equipments. And what happens if you're playing a semi-pro game with no bleachers? How do you challenge? So, once again, unfortunately, so they are ruling it a lateral fumble off of Jimmy LeHue. I mean, that's a tough, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not 100% sure about the call, but it is what it is, unfortunately, in the Storm. You have to understand, when you're on the road, you're likely not to have all the breaks, unless you're the San Francisco 49ers.
Exactly. Couldn't have said any better myself. And
No.
I think that they were making a great drive there, and that's an unfortunate turn of events for the Storm.
It absolutely is, and sometimes it's plays like that basically kill your momentum. I mean, after all, the Storm had a nice drive, but twice in this second half they've been stopped in the red zone, and that has proven to be very costly. And like I said, the momentum turned around when Bobby Eppelman missed that 44-yard field goal in the after the Storm forced the turnover early in the second half. But as it is, the Maulers have the ball, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Tarver's still in the game. He takes a delayed handoff this time. Hardwick up the middle to the 30, the 40. Is he running to New York City now? To the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Oh, brother. Welcome to the end zone. Justin Hardwick, an 80-yard touchdown run. A questionable call comes beforehand, and in the end, it results in an 80-yard touchdown run. You got to give the Maulers a lot of credit. They're taking advantage of the bad luck the Lehigh Valley Storm has had today.
I have to give that. And you could have drove a truck through that hole, but not to take anything away from him. He hit that hole like a rocket. He actually was showboating from the 20-yard line. I know the Storm won't be too happy about that, but the Maulers are coming out tonight, and they've been playing good football from all aspects of the game, from offense, defense, and special teams.
Well, I got to tell you something. That you got to give credit. I mean, you have to think that the Storm defense has got to be very tired. And you have to remember, they came off a 55-0 win last week over the Northwest Philly Giants. And obviously, this is a notch above the Giants, obviously, with all respect due. Here's the snap and the extra point on its way. And it is good. 45-20 in favor of the Albany Metro Maulers after the 80-yard touchdown run by Justin Hardwick. Shall we say the Maulers are ready for their own postseason?
I would have to say so, yeah. Definitely, especially after not catching that break on that rocket screen out to Reddick that they called the fumble, and then this happening the very next play. You have to say that for sure.
Well, sometimes team, and I think every team goes through this, and I guess it's the Storm's turn today, saying it just wasn't our day. And when these breaks happen the way that they do, you have to remember, every team kind of goes through it, and I guess it's our turn today.
It definitely is our turn tonight. And from the start of this game, there was a Raheem Ridley fumble that was brought back for a touchdown, and there were a couple calls that haven't went our way, and just a lot of guys weren't really on and playing to the best of their ability. And like you said, it might be the long bus trip. It might be looking and seeing that you guys were number 3 in the country all season, all over Facebook. It could be a multiple of a ton of things. Maybe just playing on the road, and it could possibly just be that this Mauler team is such a good team. So a lot of different factors and things added up tonight, and it's not the night for the Lehigh Valley Storm.
And that's true. And I don't know how. I don't know who determines who's ranked 1 through 25 in the listing. And I think they're. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Storm are ranked number 3 because obviously of the way they dominated their opponents. But obviously they haven't felt the other side of being dominated. And unfortunately tonight has been the case. So needless to say, the Storm will go back to field play. And for some reason, I thought a red flag was about to be thrown. I don't know why. I mean, they usually have flags that are yellow. That was a little bit weird.
Back for some reason.
Oh, okay. A delayed unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Metro Maulers. That might have been for the taunting at the very end of the run by Justin Hardwick. And nothing against him. That was a heck of a run, but come on, you can't be Deshaun Jackson and try and dive in the swimming pool and act like Kendrick Lamar all the time, because sometimes you're going to come up with water.
You love that line, but it couldn't be more true. I mean, he got to the 20-yard line. He was pointing at the guys and telling them, giving a little too much showboat there for my liking.
Well, I would have to say, too, maybe we saw the Goofy cartoon How to Play Football a little bit too much. But anyway, from the 20-yard line, here's the kickoff, and it is taken by Ackerman Moore. He'll get it about the 30, rushes to about the 40, tries to bounce, and no, I'm sorry, it's a Reddick again. He does a circle, crosses midfield, and goes down about the 47-yard line. I thought it was Moore, but Reddick was lined up along the left side. Nice return into Mauler territory, and with 10:08 left in this one, and the Maulers up by 25 points. Let's see if the Storm can come up with at least a respectable ending.
Yeah, I have to agree. This game, in my opinion, is over unless we get a miracle, but I want to see the Lehigh Valley Storm come out right now with their heads held high and just play some good football and continue what they're going to do. And I think that they will. So I'm excited to see the next 10 minutes of play.
Best thing you can do is play 60 minutes. There's still 10:08 left, and you never know. That's the thing you got to remember. Lehigh back in the game, 1st and 10 from the Mauler 48-yard line. He'll take the shotgun. He backs up. He'll throw a slant. Pass is incomplete. That was intended for Art Sanders. So Art Sanders was 85. I don't know who 88 was, and I'm not 100% sure exactly who it was. But like I said, it's semi-pro, and that's the way it goes sometimes. 2nd and 10 now for the Storm at the Mauler 48-yard line. Now remember, this is an interleague friendly game, so in the standings within the division, it won't count for much, but it'll just go for the regular season standings. Back goes Lehigh. He's going to throw it to right. A pass is tapped and incomplete. Jaleel Clark, the intended receiver, looked like Andre Ray was in the vicinity and was able to knock that down. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now from the 48.
Who's the announcer?
It's the public address guy's over here.
Right over here?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, 3rd and 10 from the 48 of the Maulers. Jimmy Lehigh to shotgun this time. Again, evened out 4 receivers, 2 on each side, like pretty much they always do. Back loose Lehigh, looking, rolling to the right, pocket collapses. Now he's running for his life. He's going to throw off the right side, and he throws it to the Mass Pike, incomplete.
There is a flag on the field, obviously, in that general direction. Might be defensive holding, but
it could be that or illegal contact. It is indeed in the secondary area, so we'll see what the call is. If it's one of those two, that will at least save the Storm drive based off of 3 incompletions. The officials, I can't even find the main guy because he's just standing there. Or is that penalty going to be against the Storm? There was a flag, and I guess maybe they disregarded the flag.
Maybe an offensive put. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was holding downfield, so they'll refuse the penalty in that case, and I'll make it 4th down. So they waved the flag off. So or there was a holding on us, and it was refused, so who cares? So it's 4th down now. And Rondell Antoine is standing about the 10-yard line waiting for the punt by Bobby Eppelman. With 9:53 left in this one, the Storm trailing 45-20 against the Albany Metro Maulers, and they are living up to that name today. Here's the snap and a punt by Eppelman, and it'll be taken by Antoine about the 15. He speeds about the 20. Oh, he has a haul. 25 to the 30. Blockers downfield to the 40. Slips out of a tackle, and then tackled by Rodney Gilmore at around the midfield stripe. A good return by Rondell Antoine, who was able to return for a good 36 yards into Storm territory at the 48-yard line. And right now, the Maulers are looking to do what Oklahoma did in September of last year, put a 50 spot on the Storm.
Yeah, and that's something tough to do, only letting up 9 points in 3 games, and we're obviously going to forget about that for a little bit, but what I've seen so far all game from this Albany Metro Mauler team is there's a team that you definitely have to watch in the GDFL. They, from what I've seen tonight, I don't know if it's just the night or what they have a ton of great guys, and they're really putting it all together and putting it on display.
Ask the Central Penn Piranha. And remember, 2 weeks ago, Albany pulled off that 41-13 win over the Piranha, and everyone was like, what the heck happened here? But you know what? Some teams just have an off night. The Piranha had their off night 2 weeks ago. And like as I said to you before, I mean, we're not making an excuse, but remember, the Maulers didn't play last week. They had an unexpected bye, so a week of rest and refreshment, and this is what the Storm have had to deal with. So 1st and 10 now for the Maulers at the Storm 48. Here's a handoff up the middle. Dwayne Gordon, he has a hole and crosses, I guess, the 45 down to the 44-yard line. We haven't called Carl Kreidler's name very much, but he made the tackle.
Yeah, and he's a leading tackle guy for the defense for the Storm tonight, and a couple guys we're missing on the Storm. It's not so much just one guy in general. I feel like the entire defense didn't really click tonight. A lot of guys showed flashes, like Mike Hooser was all over the field, and just in general, it didn't really happen for the Storm on defense tonight.
Okay, 2nd and 6. The ball be spotted at the 44-yard line for the Albany Metro Maulers. We're down to under 9 minutes left in this one, and the Maulers in command leading by 25 points. In the shotgun again, Tarver. Boy, he just stands there, and he's going to go end around this time. That's Lamont Hudson, who gets punched out of bounds at about the 43. There's a flag down just as he went out of bounds, and we'll see what exactly goes on with that one. So I think they're calling it offensive holding, but we'll see what the officials say. It's funny because
usually on a jet sweep they call holding.
It is holding against the Maulers, and it's funny. Your own team says, hey, it's on us. We admit it. We surrender. We'll take the 10-yard penalty, but when you're up 25, I don't think you mind at this point.
It's a lot easier to do it up 25 than down 25.
Okay. Somebody said the signal's been lost. So
we're connected.
Yeah, it says we're connected, but whatever the case is, we just got word the New Jersey Bravehearts won 22-18.
Our broadcast is from 6:30 to 10.
Oh, yikes!
Wow, this game's running long.
Well, we got the backup here. Well, let's keep going. Keep going.
Let me call this guy real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
See what he says.
Go ahead. It is. Well, here we go with 2nd and 16 as JJ had to step out for a moment or two. And Tarver will take the snap. He throws sidewinder, caught Rondell Antoine, and he is punched down about the 48-yard line. Brought down nicely by Paul Bolden. Again, he's had a nice game. We're down to about 8 minutes or so left in this one. 45-20 in favor of Albany over the Lehigh Valley Storm. So, unfortunately, we gotten the word that... You know what? This is a case where we could have missing footage and then the Storm score 4 touchdowns and win 48-45. Can you imagine being the semi-pro Heidi game East Coast? If you're a Jet fan, you don't want to hear that, but something you might want to think about. So while JJ is trying to figure out what the heck happened here, it is 3rd and we'll say about 13. The Maulers are down 49. Tarver back in the shotgun, way back, and he's going to try and rush. He's going to fake one out. Now he's going to take off, crossing midfield to the 45, slips out of a tackle, 2 more, 3 more, and then he laterals, fumbles the football, and the Storm are going to get it. I don't know what Tarver was thinking. He should have just gone down and just sound the ball, let more time run off. He lateraled to an offensive lineman in complete surprise, and the Storm ended up recovering it, and I think Luther Wilson was the one that fell on the ball. So the Storm...
I can't comment on what happened.
Well, you missed a crazy play now. I missed a few, now it's your turn. So... be it as it may, it is 1st and 10 now for the Storm, and I think they're going to spot the ball at the 42-yard line. So, any word what happened?
I'm going to get a text back soon. I mean, obviously this is still going, but I think that it's just our 10 o'clock thing. We have 6:30 to 10:30, the half an hour in the 3-hour game. This game has run long, but
well, you have till 10:30. That's 10:05 right now.
6:30 to 10.
Well, guess what? That's why you need 4 hours.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, 1st and 10. We're going to still go on this. 1st and 10 for the 42-yard line. They snap a handoff, and that looks like that 88 kid has a hold to the 40, to the 30. He's still going. 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, he was tackled about the 7-yard line. That 88 kid, who I don't know who it is, but he ends up running for about 51 yards. I believe it was Art Sanders, according to what I saw.
It's 2 Art Sanders tonight.
Boy, I think we need about a few Michael Thomases here to increase the speed here. But whatever the case, good tackle by Dyson Reynolds to save the touchdown. And it is 1st and goal. I mean, they just showed a replay. I mean, they just saved that touchdown.
Yeah, that was a real nice inside handoff.
All right, 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Now whistles blow. And what do we have here? A timeout, I think, is going to be called, or is this going to be an official timeout? I can't see who signaled it, but it sounds like the Storm may have used their second timeout of the half, if that's the case. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Maulers called the timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts left.
Well, I'm happy that they're coming out and showing fight under 7 minutes in the 4th quarter, down by a score of this, and it just shows that there's a great football team in Lehigh Valley Storm, and making big plays like that late in the game don't come too often, and obviously they want to punch it in, not only for score, but for themselves, and make them feel a lot better about tonight's game, even though it didn't go their way.
Well, right now the count is 45-20 in favor of the Albany Metro Maulers, and I'll tell you what, considering there's still 6:35 left, it would be hard to say who's the most valuable player of this game, because we've had some long touchdowns today. I mean, we've had one from Robinson, we've had one from Hardick, we've had one from the quarterback Tarver. I mean, my goodness, explosives galore in this game. But anyway, back to the field. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line of the Maulers. Lehigh in the shotgun. 4 receivers this time. Oh, Albany jumped. Here's a handoff. No, it's Caleb Fick this time in the game. They're saving Lehigh and brought down about the 9-yard line. But I think the Maulers jumped offside, and it'll be half the distance as a goal. 1st and goal probably from about the 3.5. So considering the signal's lost, we'll just say, I'm only 3.5 years old.
Was that Myers?
Was that Myers?
It's like the first I've seen him. Is that 22 back there?
I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't see on this.
It's really hard to say. Yeah, 22. You're right. Sean Myers is in the game. I mean, I don't know exactly what the case was. I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit confused
might have
by this whole
injured.
thing. I mean, it's possible. I mean, only the folks in the Storm know, so we're not going to speculate. We're just going to call what's there. 1st and goal now from outside the 3.5-yard line. And Caleb Fick, who's now the quarterback in for Jimmy LeHue, will be in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He'll throw it inside. And it is caught. Welcome to the end zone. And whether he's wearing 85 or 88, whomever it is, hits a score for the Lehigh Valley Storm. And more importantly, Caleb Fick has his first touchdown pass of the year.
Yeah, that was a nice throw and pass from Fick to Art Sanders, who we believe, and Lehigh Valley Storm showing fight late in this 4th quarter.
Well, and now there's the possibility of the onside kick with 6:15 left. So they're going to go for the extra point, and Bobby Epperman will certainly try that. So certainly good to see the Storm continue to fight in this one, because as I say, you never know. Here's the snap for the extra point. Kick on its way, and it is good to make it 45-27 with 6:15 left in, we'll just say regulation, just in case.
Yeah, 6:15 left in regulation, just in case for sure. And the Storm really, they had a lot going in today's game. I mean, they had a bunch of drives that they really just couldn't convert on. There was a Bobby Eppelman missed field goal, and then that 4th and 1 stop that you have to forget about, that they came out with the measurement. Let's say that they didn't get that touchdown there, and then Eppelman hit the 3. All of a sudden, this is a much closer ball game. So the score really didn't show exactly what happened on the field, but overall, it just wasn't the Storm's night.
Well, there's still 6:15 left, and you have to remember there's some semi-pro games that go 2 hours and 15 minutes. This one has gone 2 hours and 55 minutes. You have to remember they start at 7:15. So basically, if you want to imagine a TV broadcast, they kind of did the interviews and stuff and pregame and stuff, mashed everything in. So, yeah, like they have hockey night in Canada, we had semi-pro night in Albany. That might be the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
So the bigger question now is, will the Storm go for an onside kick? It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out.
You want to, I'm sorry to cut you off, text your friend and see if we're back on. I don't know if they
Well,
opened up another stream or...
Well, I'm not 100% sure exactly how this is going to play out here, but if somehow if the thing still isn't going, then we'll just do the best we can, and I'll just have to come back tomorrow night at home in South Jersey and make sincere apologies for those trying to listen, because, as I said, what if it turns out to be a semi-pro version of the Heidi Bowl? Think about it.
I don't know. What is that? I don't know what that
I'll
means.
explain later. And they do onside kick, and it is taken by the Maulers at about the 48-yard line in their own territory. So they had the right idea. It just didn't work out. So the Maulers will get the ball with a relatively short field. Now, here's a sports lesson for you as to why you should never leave a game early. In a divisional playoff game, the New York Jets played the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. The Jets took the lead with about a minute and a half left in the game over Oakland. And what happened was NBC switched away to the movie Heidi.
Gotcha.
When they went to the Heidi Bowl, when they went to the Heidi movie, during the first 20 minutes of the movie, nobody saw the Raiders score 2 touchdowns in the final minute and win by 11 points.
Gotcha. So that's why it's called the Heidi rule.
And that's when television changed, saying you better go from start to finish. So obviously NBC didn't have their brains right, and that kind of changed television forever when nobody saw the last minute and a half of the game.
I've actually I've heard that before.
I'm kind of jogging your memory here a little bit. So anyway, again, Tarver is back in the game, 1st and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 49. Tarver will shovel the pass, and once again, that is Lowell Robinson, who will get into Storm territory at about the 44-yard line before he is tackled. I think, once again, that is Luther Wilson who brought him in that time. So a gain of 7 on the play, actually 6, as the ball spotted at 45.
Yeah, that shovel pass, I think, has picked up 10 yards every time. I mean, at least 5 yards every time that they've done it so far tonight. They're definitely going to look back on the film, and the Storm are going to prepare for future shovel passes coming up for the rest of the season, because they've had trouble with that and the screen.
And by the way, I'll mention, somebody informed me that it looks like we're going to be playing the Delaware Legacy next week, but I cannot confirm that for sure. So we'll just double check. All you can do, go back to lvstormfootball.com regarding next week's game, which will be at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Anyway, 2nd and 4 from the 45. Here's a pass that's caught by Dwayne Gordon, and Gordon will get wrapped up by Kreider at about the 42-yard line. A 2-yard pickup, but it's 3rd and short.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, and for pride for this defense, who has led up 45 points. Actually, not 45. It was also a couple field goals and that first play of the game. So they haven't played as bad as maybe we're making it out to seem. But for pride, a big stop would be real big for them here.
And crazy shouts go to the Northeast Philly Eagles, who got in the win column tonight. They defeated the Middlesex, now known as the Central Jersey Vikings, by a score of 12-8. So a win for the Eagles as they got off to a slow start this year, but now they seem to be coming a little bit into their own. 3rd and 2, and Tarver will hand this one off. It's another sweep. Has a whole 45. Oh, my goodness. He was horse collar down to 40. I think that was... Luther Wilson brought him down. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. I mean, you talk about slamming on the brakes and being taken down like that. Your leg can undercut you, and that could be serious, serious trouble. And now they're saying that we are back on. So our thanks to the people, DJ Lexus, everybody at Storm Radio and the feeders of Hot101.net. Thank you guys so much for being patient with us. It has not been an easy night. No way. But, hey, it's semi-pro, and we just deal with it the best way we can.
Yeah, exactly. And it hasn't been an easy night for us or the Lehigh Valley Storm football team, but just to touch on what he said, thank you to Hot 101 and all the listeners for tuning in to tonight's game, and everything in general, especially during the week, everyone listening to my shows and tuning in to listen to me and Crazy Tom.
And, of course, Lehigh Valley Storm football, obviously presented by Pepsi. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. So now after the 15-yard horse collar penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Maulers at the Storm 25-yard line. And let's see what happens. As Tarver's still in the game, I don't know why I would keep him in, but they're going to hand it off to Gordon. Gordon up the middle, crossing the 20, and into the red zone now at the 17-yard line, a gain of 8.
Yeah, and Tarver's in the game still for the same reason why they went for that pass from the 20-yard line at the end of the first half, and the answer is I don't know. But he's had a real great game tonight.
Well, you got to give Tarver a lot of credit, and everybody, of course, on the Albany Metro Maulers staff. They really came out with a good game plan, and they really slowed the Lehigh Valley Storm down. But then again, this could be a game that the Storm needed to have, and that's the adversity. Of course, you don't want to lose, and it just seems like in semi-pro, losses hit a lot harder than they would, especially if you're in the NFL.
If you're going to take something out of this game, out of a loss, there's always something positive towards to look through, and they were definitely tested today, and that's something that they will take from this game.
CrankinessCrusher.com. Trust me, it works. All right, 2nd and 2 from about the 17, and here's a handoff that I think it's a hand. I'm not sure it's a screen. I'm not sure who caught it, but it's about the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Dwayne Gordon was able to make the catch, and it's going to be a 4-yard pickup and another first down for the Albany Maulers. We're down to 3:10 left in this one, and the Maulers up by 18.
Yeah, exactly, and that kid has had a great game also, Dwayne Gordon, tonight. All aspects, special teams and running the ball, and this Albany Mauler team is very interesting with these screens and shovel passes, and they run a fast type of offense, but they don't really do it at a fast pace. So this is a real good football team in the Metro Maulers.
Well, it's absolutely right, and considering they showed it tonight when they really needed to. So 1st and 10, and here is a pass by Tarver, and it is incomplete. It looked like it was intended for wide receiver Isaiah Moore.
Flood on the coverage.
And who on the coverage?
Tajmir Flood.
Oh, Tajmir Flood, okay. I haven't called his name much today. So obviously a very different setting of the game because the Storm, they were known to score a lot of points in the second quarter, and they really didn't score too much in the second quarter, that's for sure. Yeah, they did score 13 points. I kind of forgot about that. It's been a long game. A 4.5-hour drive up, and obviously some brain cells missing.
That'll do it.
And some brain cells missing on you, too.
Oh, I didn't say no.
You got a 2-hour drive back. I mean, at least I'm staying overnight. All right, 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. Back goes Tarver looking. He's going to throw off his back foot, and a wide-open catch. Welcome to the end zone. That is caught by Rondell Antoine, who kind of does a horrendous Michael Jackson forward moonwalk. But guess what? It's 50 points now for the Albany Metro Maulers. So I hate having flashbacks 11 months ago, but it's happened.
This definitely could be it, and I mentioned a short while ago, who knows what it was, if they just weren't completely feeling it, if things didn't go their way, if it was the bus ride, if it was the away game. Just overall, the whole feel of this Lehigh Valley Storm, it just didn't go there well, and nothing really clicked for them tonight. They showed a lot of flashes, but just overall, it wasn't their game.
You're absolutely right. And now a flag is down, so we get set for the extra point. I'm assuming that Tarver's thrown at least 3 touchdowns in this game. Remember, there was an 80-yard touchdown run. There was a 90-yard swing pass for a score. There was three touchdowns in this half.
Yeah.
Wow. So that he might have 4. So you're looking at basically 7 total touchdowns. We had 1 return for a touchdown. We had an 80-yard touchdown run. We actually had 2 rushing touchdowns. One was like 1 yard and the other was 80. I mean,
I think that's the answer for the MVP. I don't know about you.
here's a snap and the extra point on its way, and it is no good wide to the left. So can the Lehigh Valley Storm score 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions in the next 2 minutes and 29 seconds?
I would sure hope so.
Well, and this is why I say you never know. I don't know if you've heard of this, but about 20 years ago, there was a high school championship game at the Old Texas Stadium. And there was, I think, a team leading by 25 points with 4.5 minutes left. The other team came back, scored 4 touchdowns, including the last one with about 15 seconds left, and took a 3-point lead. Then on the ensuing kickoff, the other team returned it for a touchdown to end the game. So they came from 25 down, with 4.5 to play, took the lead with about 20 seconds left, and then give up the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown and end up losing the game.
I'd rather just lose by 30.
It's still a loss, but it's all the psychological and emotional development of it all. But unfortunately for the Storm, it doesn't look like that's going to quite happen. It's 51-27 in favor of the Albany Metro Maulers. They'll win their 6th game in a row in their regular season. In all likelihood, will finish at 8-2, and the Storm will fall to 3-1 on the year. But like I said, this is the middle game of the 4 and 5 home stretch. Of course, they won their 2 home games against the Predators and the Giants. I believe, and like I said, we cannot confirm this, but somebody told me it's a Delaware Legacy next week, and then the New Jersey Spartans. We know that in 2 weeks' time is going to happen, but all I can tell you is just check out lvstormfootball.com for more information on that. All right, the Maulers kick it off as a squib kick. I think the guys are tired of kicking, and it'll be taken along the right side and tackled down the 44-yard line is Eric Robinson, who's getting playing time. He's brought down by Greg Davenport. So we'll see what Caleb Fick does with 2:25 left. We'll see if the Storm can drive and get into the 30s mark before we're all done.
Yeah, and just they're showing fight here, but like I just keep mentioning, this Albany Mauler team is a team to watch out for coming up in the GDFL playoffs. And now they're coming off, which I think the 2 biggest wins of their season against the Central Penn Piranha and now red hot Lehigh Valley Storm team, who was in the GDFL championship just a short season ago. So they have to be feeling real good heading into their playoffs.
Well, let's think about it this way: we were ranked in the top 25, in whatever list that is. The way Albany played today, they should be there. Even if we fall out, Albany should at least be there. By the way, they played against the Piranha 2 weeks ago and against the Storm today. Got to give them that credit.
No doubt in my mind.
1st and 10 as Caleb Fick again at quarterback at the 43-yard line. He takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff, sweep around the left side, and that's Robinson, who maybe gets a yard to the 44-yard line. Tackled that time by Dustin Jewett. And as the clock will run to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting some subs in on defense for the Metro Maulers, who have a really deep roster. Their front 7 played tremendous today. I feel against the run, they really took away the running game from the Storm.
You're absolutely right. As we hit the 2-minute timeout, definitely some thanks we want to send out to, of course, the other sponsors of the Lehigh Valley Storm. We got to send our crazy shouts to Kula Children's Center, located 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, meeting your childcare needs. By the Scott family of dealerships, the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, Scott Volvo, Great Scott. All the lots are located on Lehigh Street in Allentown. Also brought to you by Shruti Pub and Restaurant, located 1853 North Hampton Street in Easton. Make sure you call 610-829-1211. Again, 610 area code 829-1211. Remember, Pepsi is proud to be the main sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. And you'll find what's trending there at Pepsi.com as well. So 2nd and about 8 from the 45-yard line. Fick in the shotgun this time. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll to his right. Let's see what play he'll come up with. He's still running. He'll throw, and a pass is batted down, incomplete. Terry Gano says no, and bats it down. It'll be third down. Is there a flag down? Yeah, there is, about the 45-yard line. Like we need any more flags. I mean, I'm sure you being an Eagles fan, you saw enough flags in your game yesterday.
Safe to say I did. All over the place, and we didn't play well overall, in my opinion. We showed some flashes also, but that's not the Eagles team we're going to see this year, I'll tell you that much.
Well, like I said, it's only one game, and you never know what can happen. Penalties against the Storm, it's going to be called for holding, and I think they're going to take the 10-yard penalty. And it'll be, actually, oh boy. Yeah, it is a 10-yard penalty because ball spotted the 35-yard line. So second and about 20 for Caleb Fick in the shotgun between split backs this time. 3 wide slot to the right. Back goes Fick. He'll throw a screen pass. It is caught. Robinson tackled nicely right at the line of scrimmage by guess who? Terry Gano. And it'll be 3rd and 20 coming up. But I would like to also take a moment and express my gratitude to the University of Albany and everybody there who accommodated us. And, of course, crazy shots to everybody in the Albany Metro Maulers organization. They were very hospitable to us, and we have to express our gratitude and thanks for them taking good care of us. A lot of us coming from a long ways away. I mean, I came from 5 hours away, and I'm staying overnight. So major thanks to all you guys for making this all possible for us. 3rd and 20 from the 35. Back goes Fick. He's the left-handed quarterback. Now he's going to run. He'll get to the 40. He'll try and slant right and get to about the 44, and Gano stops him after a 9-yard pickup, and they keep him in bounds. So as we're coming to the final minute of this contest, I mean, we could say thank goodness, but you know what? It's a learning experience for all of us.
It's definitely a learning experience, and this was not. I mean, the Lehigh Valley Storm were tested this year. We can't say that just because they won every single game by 30, 40, 50 points that they weren't tested. They were definitely tested, but I feel like this is a well-matched team, and they didn't catch too many breaks in tonight's game, but this is definitely a learning experience, and they're going to use the game film from this game to continue on to play better the rest of the season for sure.
They'll be watching it a lot for sure. 4th and 11 from the 42-yard line for Fick in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap. He's looking. He will throw to right, and a pass is intercepted by the Maulers. Running it back is Mike Pert. He'll take it to the 30, the 20, and he's going to fight. Oh, he's got what he's doing, lateraling it at the 15-yard line. I don't know what they're trying to do. We get the point here. You're up 24. You don't need to play rugby for the last 30 seconds.
That goes back to the Hardwick thing. This is something that they want to see on the website, and they played a great game from start to finish. I don't feel the need to lateral the ball up 51-27 with 7 seconds left in the game.
And you're not going to get on the ESPN highlight reel. I hate to say that, but
I agree.
But anyway, I'm sure the Maulers will take a knee here with 7 seconds left. I mean, obviously, there's no way you can come up with a 24-point defensive play unless you had 11 Marvin the Martian rocket ships. But unfortunately, they didn't intercept the pass, and instead going to the end zone, they traveled to Mars. So, but lucky for them, Tarver was not hurt in this game. I mean, I certainly would not have put him in this situation, but they are going in victory formation at last. There's the knee, and that will do it, folks. The Lehigh Valley Storm tastes their first bit of defeat this year as the seconds run off the clock, and congratulations to the Albany Metro Maulers who win this interleague friendly game. The Albany Metro Maulers winners 51-27 over the Lehigh Valley Storm tonight.
Yeah, and 51-27, you could say the score showed what happened. It just really didn't go well for the Storm tonight, and they showed a ton of flashes, and they played great throughout the first 3 games of this season. But the smaller team is a great team, and they showed it tonight on the turf, and that's what I got out of this game, that there's going to be a huge learning experience.
I totally agree with you there. And who would be your MVP for this contest?
I would have to give it to C.J. Tarver, no doubt in my mind.
I'd have to agree. I mean, he had a 57-yard touchdown run. I think he threw 3 touchdown passes, including that 90-yard swing touchdown to Hardwick, which I thought was the nail in the coffin in this game. But this really turned out to be a very nice game between two teams. Obviously, the Storm might have a little bit of a long drive back, but think of it this way. they still have 6 regular season games left, and the next 2 are going to be at home before they have tough road contests coming up in September. So this was a test. You can learn from this now and get yourself ready for the postseason, but one game at a time.
One game at a time for sure, and this one's going to hurt a little bit until they get home, but then come Monday, they're going to go back and watch the game film, and then they're going to get out on the field and look forward towards next game. And just like their 3 wins, you win and you move on, you forget about it. They're going to take this loss and move on and forget about it and be 3-1 and look towards their next opponent and look to bettering themselves as a team for the rest of the season.
One note, by the way, too, of course, we mentioned after every broadcast about number 88, Corey Martinez, who's the gentleman for the Lehigh Valley Storm, whom they do Corey's play at the end of each game. Corey could not be with the team today, so obviously there's no ceremonial final play for him to score a touchdown, but we obviously want to send crazy shouts to him, and we're hoping that he enjoyed the broadcast as well as everybody else who took time to listen here on Storm Radio today. We will mention this much, that even though the Storm did fall for this game, don't forget next week the Storm will be playing, and I'm assuming it's going to be the Delaware Legacy, but double check lvstormfootball.com. It'll be Judith Adele Foundation Night at Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So try and make it out to the game, and of course there'll be plenty of stuff. We've had 2 home games. We've had very good crowds at both of them.
Yeah, very good crowds at both of them, and 2 great performances put on from the Storm, and I'm expecting the same. I really am expecting this team to come out next Saturday and just forget about this loss. And it's not, like you said, they didn't get blown out. It's a learning experience. They put up a ton of points on their own. There's a couple things that didn't go their way and that they didn't execute properly, but that's why they play the game. And on paper, you could say anything can happen. I mean, on paper, you could say what will happen, but once you come out here and play, anything can happen.
Well, basically, I could sum it up for you in 3 words. Bob Seger, Metallica. Any idea?
I'm thinking...
You know what I'd say? Turn the page. All right. See, I guess you haven't heard that one yet.
No, I haven't.
Well, that's what the Storm have to do, and they'll be home next week, and hopefully they'll be able to turn the page as well. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank, of course, all the sponsors. Of course, Pepsi being a proud sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football. Of course, here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. Of course, you can join us next week when the Lehigh Valley Storm will be at home. I'm assuming, again, the opponent will be the Delaware Legacy. We're not 100% sure. Please check out all the details on lvstormfootball.com for the latest information. We'll have this broadcast up in full in a couple days' time on my YouTube page. Of course, check out LV Storm on Facebook and Twitter, obviously. And my special thanks to, of course, all the guys. I know Rick couldn't make it today with the stats stuff. We're going to try and get the stuff to him and give you a more updated thing early part of next week. Of course, JJ will have his show at Schrudy's on Monday night. Make sure you check out Storm Radio when that happens. I think it's at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So make sure you go to Storm Radio Monday night and listen to JJ, and hopefully I'll be able to call in if I don't have a limo assignment. That would certainly be nice. So that'll wrap it up here from Bob Ford Field at the University of Albany here in Albany, New York, as we're finally getting ourselves a chance to go back home and hopefully rest for the drive home tomorrow. And obviously you have a safe 2-hour drive home yourself, and next Saturday we do it again. I just wish we'd have this luxury every week. So, and for all of you who were listening to this game today, thank you for your patience. I know we've had a bit of a wild ride and we had some technical problems. We, again, apologize deeply for them. Hopefully next week it'll be a much easier ride for us. But again, the Storm play, I think, the Delaware Legacy next Saturday night. Make sure you check lvstormfootball.com for all the latest information. Might be somebody completely different. Who knows? Just check them out on the website. But that'll do it here from Bob Ford Field here in Albany, New York, on the campus of the University of Albany. Thank you so much for the hospitality. Again, thanks to the Albany Metro Maulers and their staff for making us hospitable here with this very interesting broadcast, to say the least. So, for JJ, that's James Josephson and the entire Lehigh Valley Storm crew here. It is your crazy one, Tom Wilkins, signing off for now. Once again, in this GDFL/MLF Interleague friendly matchup, your final score from Albany, New York, the Albany Metro Maulers 51, the Lehigh Valley Storm 27. We'll talk to you next Saturday night from Salisbury High School in Allentown. Have yourselves a good night, everybody, as this has been a presentation of Lehigh Valley Storm football in conjunction with the GDFL and Major League Football.